Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. In this opportunity, I would like to deliver about what I have learned about from a debate about this motion called "This House would require prospective parents to obtain a license as a condition to have children." But before that, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Balkis Cahya Kausar from the English department. I'm in the L team, and Fatur Rahman is my mentor. And let's just get into it. First, this motion that we're talking about is very interesting because this problem is what almost every children all over the world is facing now, and all the speakers of this debate of this round, they are so good. They have good elaboration mechanism. They all have examples of their speech. They're all good, and but they're almost all of their argument is just around abusive parents and rights, but except one speaker that that is not talking about abusive parents and the impact of it, and also none of them talking about population, what will happen to the world about population, like overpopulation or depopulation, except the one team that I'm gonna spill later. When I'm going to summarize about what I got from from the debate overall. So the opening government talk about opening government's main arguments are about abusive parents and impact to the children in the future. That's a pretty nice argument for the start. And I also like how the first speaker, the prime minister, mentioned about her own experience facing the abusive parents themselves. And the opening opposition, they talk about underprivileged parents and that doesn't get the chance to get the license to have children. They also talk about human rights, the limitation rights about the parents to have children. So they focus on the right of the parents, while the government side focus on the right of the children. But in the opening opposition's argument, they mention they support, they protect both sides, uh, the parents and the children too. While opening government keeps mention that abusive parents or abusive people shouldn't have children. They don't deserve to have children. That because it will give a such big impact to the future life, to the future modern society. While in the other side, the closing sites, especially the closing government, they mention one or maybe some opening government's forgotten population. I don't know why the opening site didn't talk about population, like overpopulation or depopulation, uh, about this move that the motion give us. They also talk about the abusive practice, the abusive parents that will give such a big impact to the future society life. But they also mention about the overpopulation. If we if people, like if we don't limit the people to have children, like all over the people, the high human resource and even the low human resource, if we let them have children, they will be this will happen, the overpopulation. Okay, if there's overpopulation but our human resource is good, okay, then it's good. But what will happen if the our human resource is filled with low quality of human resource, and they dominated the high quality of human resource? That will be a problem. And at this point, I think the closing government uh, got the chance to be the winner of this debate competition. They also mention about economic problem that will one of the biggest cause of abusive parents, and that in this moment, economic problem is one of the main problem financial problem, if the main financial issues is the main problem in the family environment. And the other side, the closing opposition. Nah, there's a difference from the closing opposition, especially the whip. They they also talk about the rights, the women and children rights. That they also talk, but they didn't just talk about like limitation rights, having children rights. They also talk about the wasted potential, wasted the wasted potential of great parents. Like, is the license really promising for a good quality of parents? What if a good quality of parents didn't accidentally didn't get the license? It will be wasted, right? And the whip of the closing opposition, I think he's done talking about abusive and other stuff like that. He started talking about the solution of the abusive things. They suggest about therapy that will increase the quality of our human resource, both in the parent side or the children side. And he said that genocide isn't a solution of this problem. Like, we can fix this problem not by just genocide it, but we can also give education to the parents. He also talk about there's like, if there's a license, then there will be a standard of raising the method of raising kids, right? And there's not just one method of raising kids, there's a lot of them. And he thinks that license making standards like this isn't a solution of this problem. And I'm going to start answering the question about which team I like the most and why. So, in my opinion, of course, the team that I like the most is the closing government. Why? Because their argument is there's a why I like why I like the closing government the most. That's because the team overall, almost all of them talk about abusive and rights, but the closing government mentioned one forgotten things that is very interesting and important for me to talk about in this debate. It's about population. We know that license, if we limit the parents to have children, they will be both sides, both opposition and government. So if we limit the parents to have children, there will be depopulation. The population of human will be decreased, like that happened to Japan and Korea. But also, if we do not limit the parents to have children, there will be overpopulation of human in that country. And the bad thing is, it can not all of them is the high quality of human. There can be also the low quality of them, like, for example, like that happened in some country. Yeah. And which speaker that I like the most, of course, from the closing government, I really like the government whip. I just really like how he elaborate his argument, and how he ensure us about his argument. Like, he seems so promising. The way he deliver his argument is so good for me. And which team should win and which speaker should be the best one, I think I already mentioned that by answering the two previous questions. I think the team that would win this debate is the closing government, because not only their arguments are so good, but their whip also mentioned that their team is better than the opening one. There's a comparison between them, and I think the closing government is better. And they also have uh, more good argument than the opening about the population, about the low human resource that can be impactful. So it's not just about the abusive parents that will cause trauma and else. It it can also cause the criminality from the abusive. And which speaker should be the best one? I already mentioned it before. I think it's the whip of the closing government. It's the government whip. Like, he deliver his arguments very well. Like how promising he is. He really make us sure about his argument. I think the government whip really did his job really well. He really supports his first speaker. He really did a great job for a whip, and I think that's all that I wanted to talk about this debate competition. I think this debate competition is very interesting, and I'm really invented in this motion. Yeah, because this is the problem that almost all of the children like us have experienced in our life. Okay, everyone, thank you for listening and paying attention into this video. Thank you so much and have a great day. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.